Kia ora te whānau, nau mai haramai ki te Rangatahi Kei Runga podcast. I'm your host tonight, Jordaan Tuitama. Our mate Dawson is busy tonight with whānau, so he couldn't make it, but we've got a very, very, very special guest, a young person that I've been following now for, I would say over a year. Definitely over a year. I've been following this young man's journey in this path, but I've actually known him for longer, and it's been really cool to see him and physically go from 6 foot to bloody, I don't know how tall he is now, but we'll probably ask him that question soon. So I just want to throw it over to our guest, Akiva, and he's going to, I guess, tell us where he's from, what hood he's from and where he represents. And Chairman, bro, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Name's Akiva, born and raised in Hamilton. Lived there all my life. For a section I lived in Tauranga, but I was young, don't really remember that. But mum's Samoan, half-caste Samoan, grandma's from England, and grandfather's from Tulaele in Samoa. That's me. And my dad's Cook Islander. So yeah, that's me.
Sure, it's some pretty cool it's a pretty cool pedigree, bro. Samoan, English, and Cook Islands. Bro, that's the meanest feeds. What's your favorite kai?
I really like raw fish, but I feel like it just hits different in the islands, eh?
Bro,
so
okay, carry on.
In NZ, I don't really like mess with it, but when I go home, I go to meal.
Well, do you like the Samoan raw fish or the Cook Island raw fish?
Cook Island, Cook Island's probably. I haven't had much Samoan raw fish recently. Most recently, I went to the Cook Islands last year.
Oh, so, yeah.
Basically.
They when I went to, I actually 100% agree with you, bro. Because when I went back to Samoa, and I ordered the raw fish, I had some oka, and they put like a little bit of chili in theirs, and then they use lime instead of lemon. But the proportions, yeah, like they it's just the proportions that they used. Oh, bro, here we going talking about food already.
Yeah, for basketball, talk about food.
Typical ballers talking about the kai. Yeah, bro. Nah, raw fish is mean. Is there like a specific kind of fish that you like, or?
I couldn't tell you. Just all of them taste nice.
Yeah, you young fellas eat everything and anything, eh, bro? Nah, bro, definitely raw fish. I like, what do I like? Yeah, I like everything. You can tell by my weight. So that's cool, man. Cook Island, Samoan. And then obviously you grew up, born and bred in H-Town. What parts of H-Town are you from, bro?
Mainly Hillcrest, the Silverdale area. Grew up there from when I was born to, I might have moved out of that area when I was about 12. So I still rep that area hard. I'm kind of further away now, but I'm still Silverdale boy at heart.
And then your school is what? That's pretty much where your school is, right? Your high school?
Yeah, school's like a little bit down the road from primary. All my 3 schools, intermediate, primary, high school, all within walking distance. So.
Bro, give them a shout out. What schools did you go to?
My primary school, Silverdale Normal. I loved it. Real multicultural. I mean, my boys for like 3 years were Somalians that lived down the road.
The brothers.
I grew up playing ball with them for ages, going around to their house.
Salam alaikum.
Wallahi. Then intermediate, I went to Barclay Normal Middle School, which is actually it was more like the country kind of side of the area, so it was a lot of the rich white boys, and it was a very nice school. And so I kind of got taken out of that like kind of brown area with my primary school into intermediate. But then moving to high school, St.Johns. I mean, I don't want to go there in year 8. I was at boys high.
For real?
Yeah, I wanted to go to boys high so badly, and then mum told me to go to St. John's. I was pissed. I was mad. Now looking back, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
I love my school, man. I mean, just like everything they do for me, the boys I'm surrounded by, it's just amazing. I definitely would not be the man I am today without them. So.
Yeah, for real. I many moons ago, bro, and I used to play ball, and I was fortunate enough to play against St. John's, and I always wanted to go there. But my parents, because I was in Northern, my parents would never like, no, we can't send you all the way across town, you know what I mean? So I was always gutted that I never got to go to St. John's. But I mean, Fraser High is all good. Let me just throw a shout out there. Fraser's all good as well. But I always wanted to go to Johnny's. You know, what's that? You talk about that experience, that brotherhood. I've felt it when I've played reps with the St. John's boys. Such cool cats, great attitudes. The way their philosophy of the game of basketball is very second to none. Like their basketball IQ, the coaches they have there, the young up and coming talent like yourself that St. John's has got coming through is amazing. Can you share with us, bro, what you know, digging a little deeper into what that's like being a baller at St. John's?
I mean, it's a big thing, you know. We're a basketball school, we're a lot better than the rugby team we have. So, but it started long before I was at the school. I mean, with Mel, it's dedication, 4-3. That's what it stands for. How long he was there for, but just like he laid the foundation down. Now we got Pooks, who's an old professional player, knows the game like the back of his hand. So he can like just give us all the expertise we need and stuff. But it's like a legacy. Well, we're not no church college. We haven't won like 20 times, but I think just the heart we play with. You always play for the crest on your chest. You just look to bleed blue and gold when you go out and play. Just lay it all out there for the boys.
So. Oh, that's so cool, man. Shout out to the brother Pooks, a good friend of mine as well. And it's really cool to have, you know, role models for young fellas coming through. And Pooks has been a huge part of the Waikato basketball scene for quite some time now. So shout out to you, my brother. And obviously the Johnny's program is in good hands. I mean, does he get on the court with you guys? Or
a lot when he was a bit younger, when I was a junior. But now he's a few injuries here and there. And so
he's a komatua now.
Yeah.
No, that's wicked. But what led you to basketball?
I don't have the big I've been playing since I was 4 years old kind of story. I wanted to be an All Black for the majority of my life, with my dad being a rugby player and me just being surrounded by like the New Zealand culture of rugby. Basketball wasn't really my thing, and the way I got into it was a primary teacher saw I was tall and just chucked my name into a team.
The old Islander, oh, he's big.
He's big, he'll be good. And just from there, I enjoyed the game and opportunities came from there.
Yeah. How old were you?
When I started, like my first basketball game might have been 9 or 10.
Man, you know, in Hamilton, that's late.
Yeah, and I didn't start taking it seriously until I was about 12. Well, I wasn't good till I was 12. I couldn't put it in the room until I was about 12.
Bro, I can't put it in the room now. Bro, so 12 years old, started to, I guess, grow a passion for it, right?
Yeah. I couldn't explain to you. Like, if anyone asked me, why do you like basketball? I just love it. It's just,
yeah.
I couldn't tell you. The competitiveness, just winning, and just everything about it. It's hard to explain.
I'm a self-professed baller, bro. Like, I'm what am I? I'm 6'4", 5. I'm 160 kgs, built like a bloody milk truck, and I didn't play rugby, bro. Like same as you, just loved ball, and so I absolutely understand. Do you ever find like things that you learn in basketball apply in your like life?
Oh, definitely. I think, especially with the NBL thing, like you're moving away from home for 2 months, you're having to live with all these dudes that you've never met in your life. And so it's just like all the skills you can take from like the people skills and having to be coachable by like a coach. He's your boss for 2 months. And so it kind of like emulates a work environment, like a normal job kind of thing.
Yeah, for real.
So I feel like those skills are just easy to translate because it's practically the same thing.
So just for
I love doing what my job was. So
it basically was your job, it was your mahi, and you're doing a job that you actually loved. Well, just for people out there who are probably not familiar with yourself, you talked about the NBL. Could you explain to us what that is and how you got involved? So for those that don't know, NBL is our top professional basketball league in New Zealand, where a lot of our Tall Blacks play, our Breakers play. We have international players from overseas coming over and playing as well. And Akiva basically just went all up in there and did his thing. Do you want to share us, bro, what that journey's been like? And I guess starting from the draft, and were you nervous? Was there anxiety there? How was it, bro?
Before the draft initially, I reached out to the head coach of the Nuggets, actually. He's coached me for between age groups of
Give him a shout out, bro.
Brent Matahari, good man. He's a fellow Johnny's boy too, so there's that connection. But, so I reached out to him and I just asked him, do you think it's worth me putting my name forward in the draft? And just from there, he kind of gave me the heads up about, I'm looking to take you. So,
bro, that's mean.
Yeah, I know. I got it early, but it was so early. I looked at it. I was like, is he being serious or is he like? And so I was nervous because he called me up again and he talked about the future, past maybe I'm 24 or something like that. So I was still worried. Like draft night comes, I'm still worried about, is he actually going to take me or is he just? Like, no, yeah. 10th round came and my name was called. So
kept his word, eh? It was a pretty important pick. Like when I looked at your guys' team, it was a pretty solid starting five, and then I was like, bro, and then we got the young fellas coming off the bench. I'm like, holy heck.
Yeah, I didn't know any of the guys except for Jordaan and JK. But I was looking at the roster later on and I was like, damn, I'm actually going to play.
Did you think you were going just for development or?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, just being in the type of caliber of player that were there and in the country at the moment, just because of all the COVID stuff in the country. So the league was good. So maybe I'll get a few reps up, just soak up the knowledge I'm around. But now I get there, first game thrown straight in there on Tommy V. So, yeah, amazing.
Just like that, eh? Bro, can you remind me, how old are you?
17.
Damn.
Turning 17 this year. So I don't turn 18 to next year.
What? So you turned 17 this year. You're playing for one of the top schools in the country, and you've been drafted into the NBL. And then tell me what happens in the NBL. You're in the NBL now. You've been drafted by the Otago Nuggets. You're playing against grown men, and then you guys go on to win, right?
Yeah, we got that dub. Shout out to all the boys. It's all over, especially the Dunners boys. Real brought that Dunedin culture back to the team, and I think that team chemistry we had just really pushes to the winner. So, mate.
All right. How does it feel? 17 years old. You're a National Basketball League champion.
It's so surreal. It just hasn't sunk in. I can't comprehend what I've actually done. I had the 10 seconds after the game, we were just hyped. I was wondering to myself, damn, and then I got taken away for a drug test, so that didn't last very long.
Bro, can you walk us through that process? What's that like? Do you have to
It's daunting.
True.
So he might have. So game finishes, we're on the court celebrating. I might have got about 5 minutes taking photos of people, hugging people, and this fella comes up to me, introduces himself from Drug Sport NZ. I need you to participate in a drug test. So, and then he just has to stay with me through just watch where I'm going, so he can't take his eye off me. Maybe 5 minutes pass, and you go down to the basement kind of thing, and we're waiting there for ages. All the boys have already left and are back celebrating at the hotel, and I'm still waiting for a drug test.
Far out. Obviously, it came out clean, right?
Hopefully, results take 4 weeks, so I should be.
Bro, playing in the Premier League in our country, I mean, the learnings would have been huge, bro. Not just the players that are in your team, but playing against people where you know, who were people that you learned from that you played against? Who were people that you learned from that might have schooled you a little, or you know, was there anyone out there in particular that kind of highlights for you?
A big one for me was McBirney-Griffin, probably the oldest player in the league. And that game I actually played, like, I started because we had a few injuries, and so I played big minutes. I was going up against him a lot. Just the little things, the grab your arms so it looks like you foul him and all those. But the big thing for me was I'd been told, or like just watching him, like he would tell me, "Oh, he's dirty. Watch out, you'll catch an elbow." But like he was one of the nicest dudes I've met, like in the thing, and he caught up with me after the game, just talk about my future and stuff, and like if I ever needed anyone to go talk to, he's there for me. I was like, sweet.
Bro, that's
so
awesome.
it's real cool to see that side. I think it's something that goes unnoticed, especially since we're New Zealanders, we're a small country. The support system that all the players have for each other is amazing. And that's something I was introduced to at the NBL.
Man, that's real cool. There's like a tuakana-taina kind of vibe going on, eh?
Yeah, totally. Especially with Jordaan and JK and my team, they just, a lot of the off-court stuff they help me with is just like you wouldn't even think that you'd get that stuff from them.
Yeah. I mean, like, that experience in itself is amazing already, but you talk about some things that you've learned from the older cats, you know, who were willing to share with you. What were some of those learnings?
A lot of them was just be smart, especially with your body. There's a lot of recovery stuff, a lot of physical, just don't get injured and stuff like that. But a big thing for me that was interesting, I found interesting, was how they like use their money. They're not silly about it.
Sure.
They invest well. That's what I found. Like they actually have investments in quite a few things. And I like would have a TV ad, and Jordaan would be, "Oh, yep, I have shares in that." So it was cool. It's cool to know stuff like that. But yeah, it was just so much. Just a great learning experience for myself.
Bro, I could only imagine, like, sheesh, going up against Mika Vakona, far out. That would have been
strong.
I mean, I'm just thinking about it in my head, trying to visualize like me doing it. I mean, I probably would have lasted 2 minutes because cardio would have kicked in. But bro, that's amazing. You know, you talk about preparation, you talk about how they work off the court, you know, how they conduct themselves. Transitioning back to school, because I watched your game against Rotorua Boys. Was it Rotorua Boys?
Yep.
Yeah, what's it like? Was there a difference, or did you go into that game feeling a lot more confident now with this newfound knowledge and experience?
Yeah, I felt like the cool thing. I played a game Friday the night before. It was my first game back, first time touching a ball since I'd won. I was a bit rusty, and so I was just getting my stride back. But Saturday, I went from like the student to kind of the teacher, and I was looking out to like lead my high school teammates and just try and pass on all the knowledge that I'd gained. And I found myself talking way more and just like trying to help the boys out on the court and stuff. I feel like that helped us because we beat them by 20. So yeah,
it's a big margin. They you know, taking that knowledge, information, and then just being so willing to share it, with your bros, with your boys. Man, that's cool. You know, you talk about they made good investments and they were smart with their money. I mean, being a baller, there's always that urge to go and buy the new pair of shoes coming out. How many pairs of shoes do you have, bro?
One.
Well, the man has to think about it. Damn.
I'd be about like 11, maybe.
Wow. And then are those just shoes that you play in, right?
I don't have many kids. So my problem is that still growing kind of thing. So I don't like heavily invest into purchasing shoes like as much as I would want to, just in case I grow out and then mum gets mad because it's a waste of money.
If you've got some 14s lying around, bro, flick them. You know, when you just backtracking from there, because we talked about the NBL, but there's actually a whole range of other kind of steps that you've taken to get to where you are today. Do you want to talk about you know, playing for reps, bro? Because I know you've represented Waikato, but you've also represented you know, Warm the Fern on your chest as well. What teams have you played for, bro? And have you been overseas or?
I'll probably start. I think my first rep team, I might have been a 10 or 11. It was Waikato under 13s. And then from there on, I played age groups for Waikato just all along, 15s, 17s. And so you go from that, and then you have, from that you get scenes, you selected the trial for New Zealand teams. And I made the 15s, 16s, and 17 New Zealand team consecutively, which is quite an accomplishment, I believe. And from there, I've travelled to my first overseas trip was Australia when I was about 11. Second, I visited the States when I was 12. Another interesting one was Papua New Guinea in 2018, where we played an Oceania Cup, the NZs, and we played Australia in that. It was just such a different environment from what you're used to. Just, the poverty is real bad, and so it was a real eye-opener into just how good we have it in NZ.
Yeah, for real.
But the big thing I enjoyed is just how friendly the people were. I also really respected how down to earth our team was. We didn't kind of go in there and just drop our bags on the door, expect the waiter, the people to go take it up and stuff. We try to be part of the community and give our kind of experience their culture and stuff. I remember second day of training camp, a little kid broke into the facility and was knocking on. I was cheering at our team while we were training, and I remember trying to slip him a pair of shoes, but he got taken away by security, so I didn't end up getting it to him.
Far out.
It's an interesting country. I mean, I remember bus rides from the hotel complex to the stadium. We would have military escorts. I'd shuttle the roads down when we'd pull into the stadium. I remember the first time getting off the bus, we heard gunshots. That was just different. That was super hot. Killer. It was 40 degrees every day. Not used to that in Hamilton.
It's a lot of traveling for a young person. And just to keep it real, bro, what's the fundraising being like? Because I know it's not easy paying for those kinds of trips. My mum works her butt off just to get me where I want to be. And so I think, but the older I've got, the more you get. Most recently, the big camp, I attended an NBA Academy camp. Oh, wow. When was that?
Last year, November. And so because that's NBA, they pay for everything.
Wow.
Clothes or all that
Bowling.
stuff. So yeah, lucky mum didn't have to fundraise that, so it probably would have been pretty expensive.
Tell us about that camp, bro.
Oh, okay. So took place after secondary school Nats last year. I was selected from my performance at Nats. So I got sent up with 3 other Kiwi boys, Ben Gold from Wellington and Livick from St. Kitts. So we travelled over for a 2-week camp. We stayed at AIS, the Australian Olympic Institution in Canberra. They have their global academy set up there, so it's just all the best talent from around the world. And so my camp was the best 24 players in the world at the time.
Wow.
So we had players from Africa, Europe, Japan, China, just all over the place. It was a real good experience, and just it's good, it's reassurance for you go up against these dudes and you're like, oh, you're just a boy from NZ, you don't think you got all that. And you go up against these dudes and you realise you're kind of nice. So it's just a main experience, and you just get to see how everyone else plays and how they live off court too. That was not a culture shock, but it was cool to see just how they acted off court and what their norms were, stuff like that.
Man, it's awesome to be able to learn about other people and their cultures through the game of basketball, right? That's so cool. Were there other coaches there that attended these camps? And I mean, was it cool to learn from other, because I know New Zealand has a certain style, Australia has a certain style. Were you able to learn from other coaches from different countries as well?
Yeah, definitely. We had three main head coaches. One was Argentinian, and he was very, very fiery and
Oh, wow.
enthusiastic and aggressive, and so that translated to how we play. So it's very quick and very, I would say rough, but we played pretty rough with him.
Controlled aggression.
And we had two other Australians, and it was cool to learn from them. Actually, while I was there, the France national coaches came in, and Boris Diaw, he used to play for the Spurs.
Wow.
He came in and he ran through a couple of drills with the boys, and after the game, I went up to him, just introduced myself, and got a quick post lesson from him. So it was mean.
You got a post lesson from Boris Diaw. Far out. That's pretty cool.
Baseline spins in the post, wasn't too much, but
he's really, really good, man. I rate him, eh?
He's just body control. Just you can't get the ball off him.
Is he as wide as he looks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's huge. Yeah, well.
Who's the biggest person you've met? Who's the biggest? I mean, you're a big boy, but who's the biggest person you've met?
Biggest person I've met. Probably, I've met Alex Pledger. I got a pair of shoes from him.
Pledge hammer.
He's pretty big. He's about 7 foot. Probably Joshua. He was on that NBA Academy camp. A big African boy. He was massive. Looked 25, but he's about 15. just built just massive.
Yeah, what position do you play, bro?
Damn, so I like to think I'm pretty positionless, but if I was to say what position, probably power forward.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like that position in particular, or is that just kind of where you've kind of been molded into because of your size, or you kind of...
I think just the style of basketball that's being played around the world right now has kind of got away from set positions and stuff. But I feel like my height has definitely been a key factor in putting me at power forward.
Yeah.
Which is by just being having a late growth spurt. I was playing point guard till about year 11 when I grew. Point guard, shooting guard. And so a lot of those skills transferred to me now, where I'm playing big, but I still have the ability to handle the ball and bring it up and stuff.
So you're a power guard.
Yeah, point forward.
Point forward, eh? Bro, that's mean. I can only I'm trying to, as you're talking, I'm trying to soak it all in, and I'm like, wow, went to NBA camp, met Boris Diaw. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, there's a lot of cool experiences that you've had, and shout out to your mum, because I know fundraising is a big part of sport, especially in a sport that isn't rugby. You got to do a lot of fundraising in your high school things. Any crack up fundraising stories, bro? Because I know there's lots of different things that sports clubs and schools do to fundraise, like car washes and the old fizzles.
The car wash is always good. We have a annual hangi for schoolboys. So usually Friday after school, Saturday, we prepare a hangi with all the boys, and usually it's a lot of laughs, a lot of loud music, and a couple of towel whips here and there. And food always gets stuck sometimes, because when it's passing through and we're packaging it and stuff, someone gets our sticky fingers and the food goes into their mouth instead of the package.
You always got to test the kai, my bro, just to make sure no one gets food poisoning and stuff. Bro, I'm going to ask you quite a deep question here, and feel free to take your time. But there's a lot of you got a bright future ahead of you, bro, and I think you understand that, and you're really mature and you're really humble. But what would be, I guess, some things that you could tell other young players up and coming? I know you're only 17, but what are some things that you could share with other young players that you've learned that you think are really, really important, and that they should I guess, take seriously right now? Like, what would you say? Like maybe 2 or 3 things.
I think a big one, everyone's heard the hard work, got to work hard, but I think one that goes right with it is patience and perseverance.
Nice.
Like the grind isn't an overnight thing. It takes. I myself, I played senior basketball for 3 years. My first year, I sat on the bench. I didn't play. And so it's just been to now where I'm captain of the team. I'd probably be one of the first or second options on the team. It's been a process. I didn't come into the team. I wasn't the dude. I had to work for it. It took me 2 years to get here, but I'm here. I'm grateful for that. I think it's a big thing for the younger guys. They got to fall in love with the grind, not just the fame you get at the end when you make a team, when you win a game. You always got to do the work beforehand before you get there. I think that's probably another thing I love about the game is I like working out. I like training and all that stuff. So I think that's been really helpful in terms of how far I've gotten in my career so far. Another thing too is probably attitude. Just not only on court, but just off court. Like no one likes a cocky guy. So just always be humble, be polite, be nice to everyone because, you make connections. If you're coachable, the coach will remember you and that helps them select you. Maybe they don't even pick you for the team, but they tell someone else and you end up on another team. And I feel, especially for me, having Brent as a New Zealand coach and holding myself to a certain standard where I'm listening, I'm being active within the team, I'm not being I'm not hurting the team chemistry by being that guy, kind of helped my chances of getting selected because he knew what he was getting out of me. He knew I was going to come in, I was going to play my role, wasn't going to argue about it. I was just going to keep my head down and just be nice to the boys that are around me and stuff like that. So that's probably a big thing, is just attitude towards teammates, opponents, because you never know who's watching. You could be in a game and you do something and there's a selector in the crowd and I don't like that dude, his attitude's poor.
For real, man. Listening to you talk, I feel like I'm talking to a vet. I feel like I'm talking to a guy that's been in the professional league for years. Patience and perseverance, like you're a 17-year-old. A lot of your peers, I guess, are in a time of instant gratification, right? They expect everything kind of overnight, right here and right now. And to hear you talk about how it took you 3 years to become, 1 or 2 option, you had to bide your time. And it's really cool to hear you talk about that. And then the importance of attitude, man. Attitude determines your latitude. I think Kanye West said that. You know what I mean? It's such an important characteristic of a person, attitude. That's so cool, man. Honestly, I feel like I'm talking to a 25-year-old. He's been in the game for ages. You're only a young fella. Man, this is so awesome to hear your story and to your philosophy and your approach to the game of basketball is amazing, bro. I mean, I know it's never just one person, right? It's not just the young fella like yourself that's got you to where you are. Is there any special people out there that you want to give a mihi out to or talk about?
I mean, definitely my mum, but that one's too big, bro. I'd be here for way too long if I was. I mean, every little thing she does for me. She's just always there for me, super supportive. Like growing up without that father figure, I think she did a pretty good job raising me to be the man I am today. But
she's done a brilliant job, bro. Just from this corridor, I can just tell. Man, awesome. Props to mum, bro. Having that support, good support systems around you is really important. And it sounds like you get it at home and you get it at school as well.
Yeah, definitely. St. John, that's probably my biggest thing about St. John's is just the support. It's a small school, so you're not you're not lost within all the other students and stuff, but just the way they connect with you, like one-to-one as a person. Like, you're not just some student, just some dude under them. You're like just one of them. So they're just, especially a lot of Brendan Lally, our chairman, fellow teammates, father. He's done a lot for me in terms of helping me get where I am today. He's paid for a few doctor trips and driven me a few places, given me a bed to stay if I needed it or anything like that. So grateful for him. And we have boards, and they've put money forward for trips for me, and just super thankful for that.
Man, that's awesome. That's your extended whānau, eh? Your basketball whānau. It's always cool to have those sorts of people in your life, and they definitely play a part in your journey. It's cool that you acknowledge them, bro. That's real awesome. Hey, I'm gonna just before we wrap things up, I've got some quick fire questions for you, brother. And I wanted to hear your thoughts, bro. Who's your GOAT? I know in basketball circles it's a huge debate, and it could go on and on forever. But let me hear from you, bro. Who's your GOAT?
For me, when I get asked that question, just because of everyone just argues, and just it's a big thing for basketball. But usually I go away from basketball, and my GOAT's Muhammad Ali.
Oh my God, for real?
Yeah. I do have a basketball GOAT, but he's just my GOAT just because he didn't just fight in the boxing ring. He fought for a bigger ideal, human rights and all that stuff. And I love to see that, just you taking your fame or your passion for something and shifting it elsewhere and doing better in the world and stuff.
Man, that's a nice out-of-the-box question, bro. I mean, answer. It's an out-of-the-box answer. That's cool. And you can't really argue with the greatest. It's Muhammad, man.
So, I mean, but in terms of a basketball player, if I was a GOAT, this one's pretty controversial. I get out of the LeBron Jordan convo and I go Kareem.
Oh, okay.
Just like from an accolade standpoint,
yeah.
From the championships he's won to the most points scored in the NBA, it's kind of hard not to.
I read Kareem's book. It was donkeys years ago. The book came out, but it wasn't until I read the book that I realized, why he's in that conversation. And I was like, oh wow, okay, this changes things, because it had all his stats and accolades, and I was like, wow. And then to be that dominant for that long.
Yeah, that was a
sheesh. So I can't argue with you on that one, bro. If that's your GOAT, that's your GOAT. That's mean though. I'm quite surprised that a 17-year-old knows who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. Usually I get the LeBron, KD, Kobe, but no, Kareem, man, that's cool. Hey, how I remember when I was in high school, like 100 years ago, we always used to have like pre-game songs in the changing rooms. Bro, what's your SJC go-to, bro?
Oh, SJC. I'm gonna lie, I haven't been back to school for a while, but for the NBL, I had two songs I kind of played was "We'll Kill 'Em" by Meek Mill and "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac.
Oh, I like that, bro. You got a bit of new and the old school. I like that.
Yeah, just switch it up,
Nice.
Yeah, that's my two pre-game songs for the NBL.
Yeah. Man, honestly, I'm getting surprised. Every time I ask you a question, I'm like, wow, this guy is like a 35-year-old man in a 17-year-old body. What's your favorite basketball shoe?
Ooh, Kobe 8s or the KD 4s.
Wow. I find the Kobe's to be the most comfortable shoes, eh?
Yeah, it's just, I feel Kobe 8's just so light and comfortable. You just get around the corner. KD 4, similar thing, but I just feel like the colorways that the 4s have with the strap, just unmatched.
Match your eyelashes.
Yeah, I wish.
So KD 4s, Kobe 8s.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. I can't afford either of those shoes, so I can't really tell you. I'll give you a review on those. Bro, NBA bubble playoffs now. Who you got?
I mean, everyone's gonna say Lakers, but after today's game, I know about that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go with the Bucks just because they've got the Raptors. They could be the wild card though. As a team, they're still crazy good together. I just think the Bucks Giannis just needs to be. Even though the loss of the Magic happened last year with the Raptors, Magic won the first game, and the Raptors went on to win it. So I still got faith in the Bucks.
Yeah, I think he's super hungry, eh?
Yeah,
Like
he's just
yeah.
the passion he plays with is just unstoppable.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I know we started the kōrero with Kai, and we're going to finish the kōrero with Kai. What's your favorite place to eat, or like your favorite meal?
Pre-game, actually, this came from the NBL too. But a big pre-game meal for me was a kebab, Turkish kebab. Filled me up. It was healthy food, all the salads.
Yeah. What's your meat?
Mixed.
Bloody fuck.
Got to get the flavour every meat you can.
What's your sauces?
Usually depends on what they have, but sometimes there's a sweet chili and maybe an aioli here and there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Bro, I just want to, quickly thank you. I appreciate you giving your time, bro. Talking to your mum and seeing when a suitable time was to talk to you. It sounds like you got a busy schedule, bro. So I really appreciate you making time to have a kōrero with our Rangatahi Kei Runga podcast for Te Wānanga Aotearoa, and just a big mihi to you. Big thank you to your mum, bro, and your whānau, and just a shout out to your whānau at St.Johns Collegiate, man. What an awesome bunch of people to have someone like yourself. So thank you, my bro, Akiva. I appreciate that, bro. And if you ever need some tips, just let me know, bro.